As I mentioned in the last video of 5.2, the natural log is a log with a base e. So that looks like log with a base e could also be written as just natural log, so ln. It's just understood. A log with an e could also be written as an ln, the natural log. And for the next few problems, we're going to use our calculators for ln and log and solving the expression. So the calculator only computes log with a base 10 or the natural log. So on your calculator, if you look at it, where it says log, it's understood that there's an invisible 10 there. And then the ln is really log with a base e. So our first example, our first problem is log 20 and ln 6. So let's look at A. So log 20, in your calculator, you'll have the parentheses. So you'll click on log and it'll automatically open those parentheses. So then you'll type in 20 and then close your parenthesis. Now this large number right here, that is our argument. And then here we have an invisible 10 and that's our base. Invisible 10 is our base. So let's solve it. So I pulled up a calculator. Online, and this should be TI 30. Yours kind of looks similar. So if you notice, there is a log button right here. So if you click on log and then type in the 20, close your parentheses and hit enter. So we are going to use 4 digits after the decimal. So really you need to write down 5 digits because we need to see if that 5th digit rounds our 4th digit. So here it's a 2. So the 2 is not going to round. So for your answer, you would write approximately 1.3010. So for our answer here, we would write, so approximately, because we're rounding, so approximately 1.3010, because that 5th digit was a 2, so it doesn't round our zeros. All right, B. So B is a natural log. And so on your calculator, you'll click LN and it'll automatically open parentheses and you close the parenthesis. So when you type that in your calculator, you will get 1.79175, right? Because if we're rounding to the 4th digit, we need to see what that 5th digit is. So this is actually 5. So it's going to push our 7 to our 8. So our final answer will be 1.7918. Let's look at C. So C, we have fractions. So at the top, we have that natural log, and it's 61 over 13 over negative 0.101. So let's do the top. So in your calculator, type in ln, and then it'll open the parenthesis, and then you'll need to do the fraction symbol, 61/13, close the parenthesis. And so what did you get for that numerator answer? You should get 1.54592, right? Because you want to write down 5 digits so you can see if this 5th digit rounds, and it does not. And then carry over our negative 0.01. And now type that into our calculator. Well, you already have this decimal at the top, so then just hit divide and then put negative 0.01. And so your approximate answer should be 154.59245. So that 5, that fifth digit, rounds our 4 to a 5. So your final answer will be 1.545925 for C. And then D, you'll type in ln, put in 12, plus ln, put in 4, and get your numerator answer. So our numerator will be 3.87120, and then type in log, parenthesis 12, close parenthesis, plus log, open parenthesis, close parenthesis 4, and you will get 1.68124, and then divide them. So when you divide those two answers, you'll get 2.30258, but that 8 rounds that 5 to a 6. So then our final answer would be 2.3026. So let's look at that. I'm going to type it in our calculator so you can see how to use it. So re-look at B. B was ln 6, close parentheses, equal. And so we still got that 1.7918 because the 5 pushed. So you'll type in ln, and then your calculator should have something similar with a fraction, or a fraction bar is just division, so you could also use that. So the fraction is 61 over 13 equals, and that was what we wrote down, and then divide by that negative 0.01, and then we have our 154.5925. And then the last problem, D, so we had ln 12 plus ln 4 equals, and then we wrote down that fraction, and then we had log 12 plus log 4, and then we divided them to get our final answer, 3.87120 divided by 1.68124. And then that was our final answer.